So here we are back in the Brackenram of the Mittenrahm, listening to the sounds of the Enderman. So quite a bit's been done. The lower half is effectively finished. I would still like to take another look at the roofs of the upside down buildings. There is some tweaking. I think they need something. You know, there is a little bit of the decorative work on the stone. I think that the roofing could do with a little bit of a touch. I've purposely avoided the typical extra layer of roof that would cover this part, mostly to allow the acacia wood to be seen. But I think I need to do something. I mean, I could still extend the roof out, although that's probably going to cause problems for buildings like this. Although, you know, ones like this would be fine to do that with. But then there's these ones to the side, and it seems like, is that really worth the effort? I'll have to think about it. But yeah, so this is literally all done. These are the final touches. There's one from each side, slightly different, give or take. This one disappears into the actual building. This one, unfortunately, the variations in the roof, this one got in the way. I really should just have bit the bullet and destroyed this. The heads are slightly different. This one obviously wraps around back here, while this guy curls over. Again, slight tweaks in the head. This one was actually the first one, so this is the way that it came out, but I was partway through building the water one and decided to start modifying the heads a little bit. They're fairly simple, based on the Children of the Earth. And they represent the idea that part of the elemental forces is death. This is established already in parts of the story, just simply representing it here in the actual build. And obviously back around again. You probably saw it on the way round. Now all of the extensions are done. I think I kind of, as predicted, got better at you know, doing the overhang and figuring out what was too much and remembering to use these sorts of things. I think these could do with something. I wonder whether maybe it was a mistake to miss the middle one. Maybe I should put that in. But yeah, they're all done. This was probably the most elaborate. I mean, this one sticks right out. I probably won't do this again on the upper part when it comes to it. I mean, it's fine, but what is it? You know, it's kind of like, well, why would they build something like this that looks like this? It doesn't really seem meaningful. So yeah, once that was all done, I moved straight on to the 4 main chambers, beginning with the engine as threatened. Perhaps not what I had in mind. It's a little more like a rocket, as where previously I've implied that it's just some sort of propulsion force emanating from whatever the engine is. This is perhaps a lot more designed like a rocket, as I said, the whole concept of it, in fact. I've also installed rather these two down here. There'll be a matching pair up there as well. Fuel tanks, I think there's a mixture of chemicals going on in here from various sources, and this is all how it comes in. These lights are here temporarily to keep the Enderman away. This matches down below as well, and yeah, so after doing all of these mushrooms here and having these pop up, I couldn't get away from the idea that the engine being the colour that it was, it just started to make me think that maybe the engine had been formed out of and partially built onto mushroom growth, which is what I then went and added. So the stems were added well afterwards, relatively speaking. Yeah, just implying that it perhaps began life as a mushroom before being grown and shaped. After that, we went to predominantly the Earth wing. It's been modified a few times since I did it. I'll start out here. So this was hinted at, and you may have spotted it in previous videos anyway. There is a tree growing here. I think I'm originally meant it to be multiple trees. And looking at it now, I think this may have been intended to be part of another tree. If not, I may need to... It's not too bad. Anyway, so yeah, I went through, brought the tree down. There are at least 2 more. Yeah, so this got shrunk a lot. The original intention was still over here, like this, and I had this thickness, but it was miles too big. I didn't design this space with the intention of putting this in here. This is a later thought while I was well into building. So I really had to compromise and just shrink it down to this. I mean, this was done this way anyway. It was only, I transitioned it to the bigger one. And obviously I went through eventually and just shrunk it down completely. And I think that's really helped. So obviously down low we've got the mushrooms growing on the trees. Giant beehives, which I was going to put in the Mordell. I don't know why I didn't. I know I've done this somewhere. Smaller, and I wasn't able to make them this big, but I did this somewhere. But I don't remember if there are actual bees for them. It was tempting to put them in here. I mean, you know, I would like to. And put some parrots in as well, but I'm not doing that until the building is sealed. I'm going to have to put some doors in, so it's not possible for them to leave this section. I don't want them getting out. Certainly don't want getting them outside the shell. That would not help at all. I've gone with another idea and implying that the trees are growing into the infrastructure. This will be carried over when I get to the core, which won't be much longer because I'm actually quite far along. But yeah, there is something underneath these. Let me show you that. There's a staircase. I think that's enough. Yeah. Not as good as it could have been. Again, problem of, you know, not really planning. You know, just having these ideas late in the day. I actually, excuse me, I actually forgot this space was under here. Because I'd been wanting to do this. I tried doing this upstairs on the same floor as the dirt, and it was impossible because there was rooms already in place. Although obviously they're not decorated, so that doesn't matter. But still, you know, it's like here. If I'd wanted this from the beginning, I could have opened up the floor and did a whole geode sat here. I stripped away this part of the floor already to get it in. I mean, it hasn't come out too badly as it is, but I think it would have been better if I'd have had an idea from the beginning I was doing this. It's going to be the next floor up. Yeah. I think I can get in here. Yeah, this is where I tried it originally. It makes more sense to be underneath this because of what it is. Yeah, I'm maybe gonna try and finish this. I may just leave it. Put some mushrooms down. But I consider this to be mostly done. Like anything else that's done is going to be pretty minimal. except for there'll be more work done when this half is finished. I think I'm going to try and fit in something along these sections of some kind. I could probably put something along here, maybe. Put some green, some dirt in here. Probably reorganize these rooms so that they don't open out onto this cloister. Not cloister, this archway. It doesn't help though, because there are at least two main hallways that open onto this stretch, so I can only close in access to so much. But spent enough time on this one. We'll go over to the water, which is also pretty much done. Yeah, again, this is going to have more work when I do the upper half. I think my intention is to build the 3 floors, and then before I seal off the roof for this one, actually finish whatever's going in here. And again, I'm planning to do this. Probably going to swap this dirt for the clay. Again, I've got difficulties with the fact that I can't seal off certain parts. This has to stay open. Again, there's 2 major corridors that have to stay open. But I'll do what I can. Speaking of which, I'll put these in. Basically, this corridor, again, it's clearly suffering from not having been completely pre-planned. For some reason, when I did this and connected it, all of the fish from one side came over to the other side and congregated in a corner and wouldn't move. Took a different approach with this one, just a single large piece of coral with some tropical fish in. I did put squid and dolphins in here. I did the same thing I did over in the Earth Temple. I went into this space underneath and sealed it off. I don't know why, but the dolphin will not stay spawned, even though I've named them. And even though I know I've got a named squid somewhere that won't despawn. So the squid weren't named here, so I could probably get them to stay if I name them. But it won't help with the dolphin. I have no idea why. You name a dolphin, it went away, and it was gone. But yeah, so as I say, upper part still needs to be done, but mostly you've seen what's going to be there. So this stuff is a little bit like, you need to be about 50 blocks away to properly, just go, ooh, that looks cool, and then, not think about how awful they look when you're actually on top of them. I'm going to do like at least 3 more. I'm going to give you a close-up. You can see that they are extraordinarily simplistic. They are griffins. And yeah, we won't say too much. But obviously I'm working on the air one now. And I've got the same problem I've had everywhere, which is, there are rooms opening off of the corridors. It's not easy to fit them in, but I did have an idea about how to do that. And I will be experimenting with it as soon as I stop talking. But that's what I've been doing. I won't go too much into what I will be doing because pretty much out of time. But I shall say adieu and press on.